Introduction to Patti Cafe. The management board of 79 Spring Tourism Area warmly welcomes our distinguished guests. We are pleased to introduce Patti Cafe, a destination within the 79 Spring Tourism Area. Inspired by the first meeting between U.S. delegation leader Archimedes Patti and President Ho Chi Minh at a tea house in Chu Chau Chich Village, Kunming, on April 27, 1945, which marked the beginning of a beautiful friendship between President Ho Chi Minh and Mr. Patti. We have built a cafe named Patti Cafe at the foot of 79 Spring Hill to preserve those memories and historic encounters. On August 29, 1945, Mr. Patti was invited by President Ho Chi Minh to review and comment on the draft of the Declaration of Independence at 48 Hang Gong Street. 5 days later, on September 2, 1945, at the historic Ba Din Square, Mr. Patti, together with a group of Americans, attended the Declaration of Independence of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. Through Mr. Patti, President Ho Chi Minh was able to send letters and diplomatic notes to U.S. President Harry S. Truman, requesting that the U.S. government recognize Vietnam's independence and support its legitimate government. In his memoirs and in his later visits to Vietnam, Mr. Patti always referred to President Ho Chi Minh as his great friend. In 1982, during his visit to the mausoleum of President Ho Chi Minh, he movingly said,
"I came back to see my old friend, my great friend again."
Patti Cafe, a cup of coffee amid 79 Springs. Nestled at the foot of the hill, Patti Cafe is located right at the starting point of 79 steps, symbolizing the 79 springs of Uncle Ho's life, leading visitors to the Ho Chi Minh Memorial Site. Patti Cafe is not simply a coffee shop, it is a space for dialogue between past and present, East and West, people and ideals. Inspired by Patti's book, Why Vietnam?, Patti Cafe embodies the spirit of an improbable yet symbolic encounter between Mr. Patti and President Ho Chi Minh. 1. A Western intellectual with a desire for enlightenment, the other, an Eastern leader devoted to national independence. They met at a common ground: freedom, equality, love for humanity, and the dream of a hopeful Vietnam. This is a new stopover, a place that preserves the memories of a friendship between an American and President Ho Chi Minh, while recalling a meaningful diplomatic journey in the history of Vietnam-US relations. Inspiration from words and life. In Why Vietnam?, Mr. Patti did not merely ask, "Why Vietnam?" as an inquiry, but as a subtle answer for those who have found, are finding, and will find themselves in the spirit of this land. A Vietnam not only of sorrow, but also of hope. A Vietnam that not only looks back on history, but also draws the future. A Vietnam that is both home and an invitation to the world. And here, at the site of Uncle Ho's statue, with 79 steps like 79 chapters of life, Patti Cafe carries the aspiration to continue that spirit, with a quiet cup of coffee, with an open book, and with an unspoken dialogue between two friends who never truly parted. A space for those who love Vietnam in their own way. Patti Cafe is for young people seeking a place to think differently, live deeply, and dream big. Elderly visitors who need a corner to recall, reflect, and smile. Travelers, from anywhere, who can find a piece of themselves in the story of Vietnam. Here, you can sip coffee beside the bookshelf of Why Vietnam and other cultural historical works. Join open dialogues, art salons, documentary screenings, or acoustic music sessions. Write a letter, to yourself. Or to Uncle Ho and drop it into the 79 Spring mailbox. Patti Cafe, a space of memory and new beginnings. There are people we have never met, yet it feels like they've always been here. There are ideals that never grow old, they only need a cup of coffee to awaken. Patti Cafe is not a place to retell old stories, but a place to rekindle new faith from seeds planted 79 springs ago. Introduction to the slogan. Why Vietnam? Patti Cafe. Following the flow of history today, it connects the U.S. Declaration of Independence in 1776 and the Vietnamese Declaration of Independence in 1945 by President Ho Chi Minh. Patti Cafe is a source of creative inspiration. Its slogan is a thoughtful declaration, connecting patriotism, freedom, and enlightenment across two eras, two figures, and two cultures. President Ho Chi Minh with the 1945 Declaration of Independence, and Thomas Jefferson with America's 1776 Declaration. Why Vietnam is an open question, and Patti Cafe is the place to seek answers. Through each cup of coffee, each conversation, and each reflection in today's world. Who is Mr. Patti? Archimedes Patti was a former intelligence officer and head of the OSS Advance mission in Hanoi in August 1945. Tasked with rescuing prisoners of war and preparing for the disarmament of Japanese troops in northern Indochina. During this time, he had remarkable interactions with President Ho Chi Minh and witnessed Vietnam's Independence Day. In 1980, he published his memoir, Why Vietnam?, documenting major political events and the role of Americans in Vietnam during that period. On September 9, 1982, Mr. Patti presented a copy of Why Vietnam to Foreign Minister Nguyen Co Thach. The book, Why Vietnam, together with the peace aspirations of President Ho Chi Minh and Mr. Patti, has been a valuable contribution to the positive achievements of Vietnam-US relations over the past 30 years.